Apparently, we didn't have the audio.
So nice. We're doing the show twice.
Yeah.
All right.
Now I can see the microphone audio coming in. I don't know what happened.
All right. So for those of you who are just joining us right now, give us a thumbs up if you hear our audio.
You can hear us.
Yeah, so we were going to get into a lot of things today, man. I kind of want to get into the whole thing about the Dallas Cowboys as well, because we know that they picked up George Pickens in that trade.
Yeah.
I understand Cowboy fans being excited, but I think some of the people on ESPN have gone off the deep end saying that this is suddenly a certified playoff team at this point.
Nah.
Got to get into that. NBA playoffs as well. Tom Cruise coming to San Antonio.
Look at this, man. Skip Menace. They have Skip Bayless, right? The original Skip. He's coming at Coach Pop. We'll play that too.
Oh, but, Skip Bayless actually did?
Yeah. And look at a wide receiver, George Pickens. They have a quote of him out there that I retweeted.
Yeah.
Of him talking about what is it going to be like between working with him and CeeDee Lamb, like what that dynamic is going to be like. So we'll read his comments. All right. Can you all hear us this time? That's the thing.
There you go.
Okay, they can hear us now.
Tom Cruise coming to San Antonio.
You know damn well.
He ain't going to the Mayan on Southwest Military.
You know he ain't showing up to no South Park Mall. Like,
dude, I was at South Park yesterday. Got to talk about that too.
Yeah, he ain't showing up there, bro.
Draymond Green acting a fool again.
Again. Kicking people in the nuts. That's what he's known for. Always.
I like this music.
Yeah, so did LG.
Welcome to another episode of the Area 210 podcast with Mike Jimenez and Joe Garcia. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Join the discussion as we broadcast to you live from beautiful West San Antonio. And remember to tip your hosts as it helps the show grow.
What's up, San Antonio? What's going on, South Texas? This is the Area 210 podcast coming at you from beautiful San Antonio, Texas. My name is Mike Jimenez. That's Joe Garcia. We're taking two, man. This is take two. Why? Audio difficulties. And Joe, I drove 90 miles per hour all the way over here from Conroe to be here on time. Got here on time, and I had to run straight to the restroom. There's nothing worse than a Whataburger pee that you need to do.
You're about to piss yourself.
On a road trip, man. But no, I was driving down over here. There's some traffic out in Converse off of I-10. But I made my way over here, driving 90 miles per hour. I kept on calling you, Joe. Yeah. I'm 75 miles away. I'm 55 miles away. Got here on time. A little bit of technical difficulties. Sorry for big timing everybody yesterday. Had some personal issues coming up, but we resolved all that. Joe, Tom Cruise is coming to San Antonio.
He's going to go to Fred's Fish Fry, according to Tony Ornelas.
Okay, so Tom Cruise is coming to San Antonio to promote, what is it, his new Mission Impossible movie?
Yeah, Dead Reckoning 2.
So here's the thing about that. Joe and I were talking about this over the phone this morning. What is the most likely theater that he's going to go to? Because apparently he's going to go to Fort Sam Houston and speak over there, do some sort of presentation over there. But he's apparently going to go to multiple screenings in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise, the legend. I will argue that Tom Cruise is the biggest movie star of my lifetime. Didn't say the best movie star of my lifetime, not the best actor, but the biggest movie star. Tell me somebody who's bigger than Tom Cruise. And he's coming to San Antonio. Is he bringing his girlfriend, Ana de Armas? Dude.
Is he with her now?
He's with her now, dude.
He's going to bring her into the Scientology nonsense.
This is a guy that was not only the biggest movie star of all time and at one point married to Nicole Kidman, but he has hooked up with Ana de Armas and Sofia Vergara.
Look at that. They're saying that he's going to go to the Riverwalk IMAX.
Okay, so what's the most likely one, right? Is he going to go to the Mayan on the southwest side,
West
south
Lake,
side?
Santikos, Westlake around the corner.
He's not going to go to the Alamo Draft House, Westlakes. Okay, so I've got my number one choice that I think he's going to go to, Joe, is the Palladium.
Oh, no doubt.
Okay, that's the La Cantera area.
It's three theaters.
Okay, so Palladium. I'm going to say Alamo Draft House by the airport.
Maybe there, but I think the other one too that they said here, Riverwalk IMAX. It's old in there as hell.
It's old. Dude. It's also kind of ghetto.
Casablanca, man. He has to go to that one. That one's nice.
It's kind of far away from things, though, man. Okay, so if he's going to logistically, he's not going to want to, be in traffic, right? So What's by Fort Sam Houston? The Galaxy is it on
Bro, he
35?
ain't going over there, man. Come on.
35 and 410
He ain't
Galaxy.
hanging with the peasants over there. Come on, bro.
He ain't gonna hang out with the Roosevelt
He's not
folks.
going to go to the one over here around the corner from me, West Lakes. He's not going to the Mayan. He's going to go to the Palladium. It has to be that one.
Oh, you know what I thought about, Joe? If he's going to Fort Sam Houston, what's the Alamo Draft House on Bassey?
Oh, I forgot that one.
You know that one by the Roots Chris and all that stuff?
I don't know if that one's open anymore.
I think it still is.
Maybe.
I think it still is. So Tom Cruise coming to town. It's going to be in a couple of weeks, apparently.
Yeah, it's the eve before the premiere of the Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. He's going to come in here and make an appearance because I guess they're going to have some pre-screenings the day prior to the movie's release.
For the military personnel and stuff like that. Very cool. My name's Mike Jimenez. That's Joe Garcia. We're going to go about an hour 15 today talking sports, pop culture, and nostalgia. Glad to be back in San Antonio. I have a big weekend planned, Joe, and be heading out to Austin. Going to go see a college graduation. So a person close to our family going to be graduating with their master's degree over at UT Austin. Going to be coming back to San Antonio on Sunday for Mother's Day. I have to go get Chica a Mother's Day gift. I know what I'm going to get her. So I got to head out to La Cantera. Yeah. The shops La Cantera after this to go get it.
My wife, for the time being, a gift. I'll show it to you. You tell me what you think.
Very nice. Very nice. Oh, I think I know what it is, Joe. I think I know what it is. As Joe reaches into the box right now. What did he get her? It's a red box. What is in the box? What is in the box?
So that's what I got her because, women want to smell nice,
Yeah.
They don't wanna be all stinky or whatnot. They like putting on some perfume or something. They're going to go out. So I got this, man. It's a luminous thing from Bath and Body Works.
Yeah.
Look at that, dude. Bam.
Very nice.
Presentation, bro.
It's all about the presentation, baby. Very, very nice.
That thing wasn't cheap. I'll tell you that, man.
Yeah. So, got to spend some time with all the mothers in our lives and things like that. That's going to be this upcoming Sunday. So I'll be in town for that.
I got to take my mama out to eat somewhere.
I'll be in studio on Tuesday, by the way, more than likely. On Tuesday.
Nice.
Monday is kind of up in the air because of a work issue, so we got to figure that out. But lots to get into today. The NBA playoffs gets going again tonight. Big game in Indiana between the Cavaliers and the Pacers. The Pacers stole both games from the top-seeded Cleveland Cavaliers over the past few days. Up 2-0. They can take a commanding 3-0 lead tonight. Game 3, Nuggets, Thunder tonight. That series tied at 1 game apiece. Yesterday, we saw Golden State lose game 2 of that series. Golden State, by the way, without Steph Curry. Steph Curry is going to miss at least 2 more games. Again, Golden State stole game 1 over there in Minnesota.
Yeah, they did.
And stole home court advantage, but no Steph Curry going back to the Bay.
And you have Ant-Man. Both Steph Curry got injured in game 1. Now Ant-Man's out. Not out, but he was out and came back.
Out and came back, yes. Yeah. He was a little bit nicked up there when it was all said and done.
Hurt his ankle.
Draymond Green called for another technical foul. Let's get into that, by the way. Okay.
Do you hear what he's saying?
That he's not an angry black man?
Yeah, he says that the media is trying to vilify him as him being an angry black man.
So this is his 5th technical foul in 9 playoff games this year. So let's go ahead and take a look at it, courtesy of the NBA and TNT Sports. Does this deserve a technical foul?
Right there.
Oh, come on, bro.
So it was called a common foul.
That's not a common foul.
It was called a common foul. Then during the commercial break, during a timeout, got upgraded to a dead ball technical foul.
That's a technical. He's throwing the elbow blatantly. Throwing the elbow. And he always does this. When he does something bad, he gets all dramatic about it, and he throws himself up in the air like he jumps.
Right.
Because he did that in the previous game, too. He just jumped in the air all of a sudden, smacked old boy in the face.
Right. Okay, yeah. First of all, that's not a basketball move.
No.
Okay, that is not a basketball move, what he did. Let's see one more time. So the ball's already picked off. Right. The ball had already been poked away.
Yeah.
Now, I understand trying to draw a foul, right, which is maybe what he was trying to do. But the thing about Draymond Green is that we have history of Draymond Green of a decade of him doing stuff like this.
Kicking people in the nuts.
Kicking people in the nuts, stomping on their chests, elbowing people in the face, in the chest, taking out their legs. We have seen this like crazy. Draymond Green is going to be a Hall of Famer, more than likely a first ballot Hall of Famer when it's all said and done. But he is one of the dirtiest players that we have seen in the last 10 years. And there's no showmanship in all this. He knows what he's doing. And for him to come out after the game and say, oh my God, you're portraying me as an angry black man when I'm really a happy man. I got a good family, a good life, and good people around me. That's what we're saying.
And why you always hitting people, man?
You could be a good guy off the field, but a bad person on the court. I got Bill Romanowski back in the day.
I used to think, I'm thinking about dirtiest players in the NBA. And I got to tell you, there's going to be some surprises here. Isaiah Thomas, dirty. John Stockton, Karl Malone, Bill Laimbeer, dirty-ass players.
Who was the dirtiest Spur of all time?
Oh, that was no doubt Bruce Bowen and Robert Horry.
Bruce Bowen was dirty.
That's why they have that rule in the league now where you have to give a player space
to land
when they're landing. Yeah,
exactly. Bruce Bowen was a dirty player. We talk about Zaza Pachulia putting his leg out.
He's the one that invented that move.
Dude, Bruce Bowen used to do that all the time.
Yeah, Bruce Bowen invented that move. Remember what he did to Ray Allen?
Yeah.
All the time, putting his foot out.
He put his foot out to Kobe.
Yeah, everybody.
And Kobe got pissed.
Yeah, he was always doing that.
So, but the thing about it is that, there's one thing to kind of throw a rabbit punch to somebody's kidneys, right? Showmanship, a push off. But when we see Draymond Green doing this, where he's going at it again, ball already poked out, right? Ball already poked out by Naz Reid, future Spur. And in fact, it should have been a foul on Naz Reid. But the officials know what this guy is up to. He's 5th technical in 9 games.
Jeez, bro.
And you know what I understand? How is there not one player that hasn't kicked this guy's ass at some point?
Or kicked his teeth in, elbow his teeth out, man.
Stand up to him.
Teeth out.
Is everyone that afraid of Draymond Green? I know he's a big dude, but there are other big dudes on the court. Dude, Naz Reid is just as big as Draymond Green. Like, at what point is somebody going to come up to him and pop his ass in the face?
Sabonis let him step on him and act all dramatic like it was hurting him.
Yeah.
It's like Sabonis is a big guy too. Look, we got Rob D joining us. He says,
Rob,
what's up from Nagoya, Japan.
Nagoya, Japan. Japan in the house, man. We've had Japan. We've had the Philippines. We've had the Netherlands represented. India most recently.
And look, speak of the devil, there's our boy Sith. I was telling Mike, y'all couldn't hear this, but I said the bet I should have made with Sith if the Spurs didn't make the playoffs is that he had to walk down Market Square wearing some Daisy Dukes, looking like a torta, with wearing a halo, and we have to get it on film. Well, but it's too late now.
the reason why we brought that up is because the other day we saw
this is crazy, dog.
Paul Pierce, after the Celtics lost to the Knicks, he said there's no way that they're going to lose again, and if he did, he was going to walk to the studio. And he thought it was about 15 miles. It turned out to be 20. Let's hear what Paul Pierce had to say when this all went down.
This is crazy, dog. I can't believe this. C's got me out here like this, bro. I'm sweating. So I'm about like 4 miles in right now. So I think I got like another 16 miles. I've been going for about an hour and a half right now. So, all right, I keep going, baby. I'm a man of my word, though. All right, I'll holler at y'all.
Okay. You had an assistant or somebody ran outside to meet him down the street because he's like, man, somebody bring me a water.
Well, not only did he say that he was going to walk that, which he did the 20 miles, right?
Yeah.
But he did it in his bathrobe.
And he was wearing some socks.
Yeah, he was wearing a bathrobe and socks.
Yeah.
That is funny, dude. 20 miles is no joke, man. I did 7 the other day. I was doing my work calls and I was going to go for a walk. I did 7, dude. Took me about an hour and a half.
And look at this is something that Jesse A brings up that I noticed too. He said he didn't walk no 4 miles. He ain't even sweating. So you see, this is the thing.
That's the California weather, though. No. Going for a walk in California and going for a walk in San Antonio, 2 different things.
It's all about perception, Mike, right? So he walked the 20 miles and he showed that it would take 8 hours, right?
Right.
To walk those 20 miles.
He showed the map.
Yeah. So what probably happened is that he had a car or something. They would drop him off every now and then, and he would go live, and he would talk, take some pictures with the people, get back in the car and go drop him off again. I mean, he probably
So
made
you're calling BS on all this.
I mean, he's a man of his word. He walked, but he didn't walk the full 20.
Now this guy's a former star of the Boston Celtics, and the Celtics down 0-2 going into New York. Joe, how big of a fumble would it be? A choke job would it be if the Knicks somehow fumbled the series away?
Knicks got to win 4 games in a row, basically, right?
Well, I mean, let's say they split New York, because there's no way in the world that Boston's going to be swept. Right? I mean, I know Boston lost both of the games in Boston.
Well, in Boston, I'm saying, if you want to win in convincing fashion and say, you know what, we shit the bed and we lost the 2 at home, we're going to win 4 in a row, and we're going to win in dramatic fashion. Put the Knicks to sleep in 6 games.
Right.
You got to do that. But you can go ahead and trade, split. You can come out, whatever you got to do to even the series 3 apiece, right? Go to that 7th game. But if the Celtics don't come back in this series, they're done.
This has been one of the most exciting playoff years in NBA history.
Yeah.
For the simple fact that every game that seems to be over, sometimes you just turn the game off, right? You turn
it's over.
It's over. They're up 16
or 20
to start the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And then suddenly they lose. We saw a team lose up 7 with 34 seconds to go and lose by 1, right? We saw teams like up 16 with 5 minutes to go and lose that game. You have to hang on because these comebacks, it's almost like March Madness, but the NBA version of it all.
Maybe they got the script.
And it doesn't matter you can't script made 3-pointers.
The NBA, that's the thing. You want to go into like conspiracy theory time. They say it's all scripted, right? Maybe they said, hey, you know what? Maybe we need to do something so we can get the viewership up.
You can't script missed free throws. You can't script 3-pointers going in from 35 feet.
No.
You just can't.
But what's the big thing right now? Betting, right? Sports betting.
Right.
So,
but for everybody to be in on it, I don't buy that.
Well, certain players haven't done it before.
We saw that with that one player who exited the game so that everybody could get the under on a $20,000 bet. We did see that, but I don't see star players. I don't see Luka Doncic throwing a game. I don't see Wemby or Jokic or whatever. That's what I don't see. The only nonsense that I do see, dude, Shohei Ohtani, he was in on all that stuff, all that gambling.
Oh yeah,
man, baseball swept that under the rug real fast, man.
He's their star.
It was faster than when Primo dropped the towel, dude, and the Spurs covered it up. Right? It was just as bad. But it's exciting to watch the playoffs right now because it's not going to form. Right? They always say that the better team wins a best-of-7 series, Joe. The better team always wins. So when Golden State beats Houston in a 7-2 matchup, I believed it, right? Because you have experience with Golden State. But when you see Indiana muscle out Cleveland, when you see the Knicks just out willpower Boston, who shot 25% from 3, they were 15 for 60 in game 1. And everyone said, there's no way in the world they're going to shoot that bad from 3. They shot 25%. Guess what they shot in game 2? 25%. They were 10 of 40. So it's funny because like what normally happens isn't happening. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum not working well together. Cleveland just crapping the bed. Indiana's always been that one team that's been knocking on the door, gets to the second round, but they always exit the second round.
Not anymore, man.
And now they're 2 steps away from making it into they can lose a home game and still make their way into the Eastern Conference Finals
behind Halliburton,
who again, anonymous players, 90 of them voted on at theathletic.com
overrated.
Who's the most overrated player based in basketball? And they said our good friend Tyrese Halliburton.
What did he say after that game? That come from behind, dramatic win.
Who's overrated now?
Yeah, he was overrate that.
Yeah.
Overrate that.
So tonight we've got 2 games in the association. We've got again Denver against Oklahoma City. I was talking to my mom. My mom is a big NBA fan, by the way. My mom is in her 80s and she watches basketball pretty religiously. Yeah. Every Spur game my mom watches, along with my dad.
I hope that if you take her to a game, every game she goes to, they win.
Yeah. Well, my dad's like the one that likes to go into games. My mom, not really. But the thing is that she was talking to me yesterday briefly about the Nuggets series, and she goes, I cannot believe the Thunder won by so much against the Nuggets. And I was like, well, Mom, the Nuggets stole a game in Oklahoma City. It didn't matter. Game 2 didn't matter.
Yeah.
They got the win that they needed to get on the road. All they got to do is win home games throughout, and they'll win this series in 6. Again, tonight, Oklahoma City on the road in Denver, favored by 5.5 points. So Vegas has not only Oklahoma City winning, they have Oklahoma City winning by a lot tonight. Cleveland, 4.5-point favorites. Look at that. Both road teams are favored to win today, according to Las Vegas. And that is pretty interesting. Tomorrow, Saturday's games, we got an early game, a 2:30 tip-off between the Celtics and the Knicks, and the Wolves and Warriors get going in game 3 of that series. Timberwolves won big time last night against Golden State. Again, Golden State without Steph Curry. Steph Curry going to miss some time with a hamstring issue, a hamstring pull. Apparently, this is the first time he's ever had this in his career. So that means that we don't know how this is going to handle. Do hamstring pulls, Joe? We know this in football. Hamstrings and ankles. If there's an issue with that, it doesn't go away. It's very, very possible that Steph Curry is out for the rest of the season, which is it's a damn shame because Golden State, I said this last week or earlier this week, Joe, this is their last stand. This is the last time we're going to see them make a run in the playoffs because Father Time is undefeated. Draymond's turning 36. Curry's turning 38, 39. Dude, they're not going to make any runs anymore, dude.
Yeah.
I don't care who they have as a supporting cast.
Look at what Seth Elias is saying. He says his mama was a huge Spur fan. She was buried in a Tim Duncan jersey.
Wow.
And all her pallbearers wore Cowboys, Longhorns, and Spurs jerseys. That's pretty cool, man.
That is cool. You know, my good friend John, who passed away, oh my God, it's been about 10 years by now. He was, when we went to his funeral, he was in a Ginobili jersey.
Ginobili.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, big time Ginobili fan.
Ginobili is going to go down as one of the most beloved Spurs of all time.
I think he is the most beloved Spur of all time.
He has to be, man, because he spoke the language, and he was our super Latino out there, you know, even though he was from Argentina or what have you.
Right.
He spoke the language. The fan base was just enamored with him. They never seen somebody like Ginobili.
Right.
And what he was able to do out there with the long flowing locks at the time, you know, putting that ball behind his back, being able to dunk.
Kevin Garnett said on that podcast that long-haired Ginobili was a problem.
He was, man.
He said he put the Euro on you and then dunk on you with the left hand. Great. The respect that Spurs fans, that the Spurs have, the NBA has. Maybe not the fans, because the fans are casuals for the most part.
Yeah.
But you ask Kevin Garnett about Tim Duncan, about Manu Ginobili, you ask all these greats, Robert Horry, whatever the case may be, they all universally go, those two guys were great. Parker of the Tim, Tony, Manu was probably the third best of the three.
Yeah.
Which is weird because there was a time when Parker was probably a top 3 point guard in the NBA. And he deserves to be a Hall of Famer. Let me ask you this, Joe. When it came to the top 75 and we didn't see any other player other than Tim Duncan from that era go there, we saw David Robinson. Who should have been, if there was another Spur in there, should it have been Tony or should it have been Manu?
Yeah, it should have been Manu, dude. Manu, to me, should have been in there because he was the best sixth man in the NBA.
Yeah.
To me, in my opinion, hands down. But not only that, when you're talking about Spurs players, he was the most exciting player, Spurs player, to ever don the silver and black. I don't care. You can talk to me about the greats, and they were great in their own right. But talk about the most polarizing, as far as explosive player out there that would get the fan base excited. That was exciting to watch. Manu Ginobili.
Manu Ginobili is somebody who we all just loved. There's not one Spur fan who hated Manu Ginobili.
Oh, no, nobody hated Manu Ginobili. They hated some of the plays that he would make at times because it would frustrate the fan base and it would frustrate Coach Pop. But that's who you were going to get. You got the good and the bad. But at the end of the day, you loved Manu Ginobili.
Yeah, it's one of those things where he would shoot the ball and you'd be like, no. And then it would go in.
And it would go in. Mira, he can shoot.
Well, speaking of who can shoot, did you see what Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5 at Jeff G Spurs Zone on Twitter and Threads, what he posted earlier today, video of our good friend Jeremy Sohan working out, and look at his 3-point shot. Let's see what's going on here.
Is it a broken shot?
All right, let's watch.
There ain't nobody in front of him, though.
All right, slow it down.
There's the Elaine The herky jerky motion. Nah, that looks like a fluid shot. That looked like a good shot, Mike.
There was one that was a little bit. There was one shot that didn't look so good.
It looks good. Look, he's practicing his form, man. He's got the arc going. You know, he's extending his body.
Okay, I would love for him to do well this year from the 3-point line. Now, he did improve his shooting from what?
You cut the audio.
He had like a 30% shooting his first season, like 27, 20%.
Yeah.
Then he increased it to about 33, 34%. It's getting to be more respectable, his 3-point shooting. But then again, he's being dared to shoot. Okay, he only shoots wide open threes because no one defends them, right? But he's in a contract season, Joe. He's in a contract year. He's up. He's going to be a restricted free agent at the end of this upcoming season. So that being said, what restricted free agent means is that he can go off and sign a contract with any other team.
Yeah.
And the Spurs would have to match it if they want to keep him. So what happens during contract years, Joe? Players ball out.
They have to, man. This is the comment right here of the day for me.
Yeah, Sam Salinas saying, say it, Mike. Say it. You're throbbing for Manu. Used to. But you know, if you want to give positive reasons why the Spurs are going to have a good season next year, one is Wemby's going to be healthy. He was already an all-star, on pace to be defensive player of the year. Let's say he improves. Stephon Castle, let's say he improves, rookie of the year. Again, we see all these NBA stars saying that they enjoy watching Castle play. They think he's going to be a very, very good player, if not a star. So maybe you get a leap there. We get a whole year of De'Aaron Fox, right?
Yeah.
We have Harrison Barnes doing what he does, right? He's never bad.
Does De'Aaron Fox deserve me to say his name right instead of D?
He does, yeah.
DAA Ron?
Yeah, no, he's De'Aaron Fox. Dude.
De'Aaron Fox, all right.
But Sohan being on a contract year, knowing that his future paycheck is dependent on how he does this season, maybe we get the best out of Jeremy Sohan.
Look at this.
Maybe he's more than just a defensive player. Sith coming out and saying that 3 is going to look great when he's a trailblazer.
Is Jeremy Sohan worth anywhere from 17 to 20 mil? Because
that's what he's going to get.
That's what he's going to get. That's what the market is going to garner. That's what he's going to garner in the open market. If he goes and explores free agency, someone can offer him.
Well,
that.
he has to.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole point of restricted free agency, is to go get your bag. I mean, we saw Pop do this with other players in the past.
Boban wanted to stay. He's like, no,
go to the Pistons or go to the whoever.
Go get your money.
Go get your money. And the same thing has to go with Sohan. So why would Sohan just stay and say, okay, well, I'm going to sign this, $7, $8, $9 million deal with the Spurs because I just like being here.
Sohan likes to drink, dude. We've seen that. He crashed his car.
Dude, don't get yourself in trouble saying stuff like that.
Maybe he likes to go to the nightlife,
But there's no nightlife in San Antonio.
No, I'm saying somewhere else, Mike.
Right.
LA or something.
Well, I mean, let's look at his contract this year. So Jeremy Sohan is going to make $7 million this year. In the final year of his deal, he made 5.57 last year. So what is his worth? You asked the question, Joe, is Sohan worth 17 to 20 million? The answer is that he's probably worth more than that. 17 minimum. I can see him getting as high as 23, 24, 25.
Yeah.
But the question is he worth that to the Spurs? He might be worth it to the Spurs as if they would want to keep him, but would they match a $22 million offer by Denver?
No.
Or by the Lakers or by whomever?
Why would you do that?
Well, it's because you have other things. I will say it this way. Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, Jeremy Sohan, the old guard of the Spurs, right?
Yeah.
One of them's going to be gone at the end of next season.
Yeah,
we don't know. We don't know which one's going to be.
Maybe.
But
Sohan.
mark my words: Devin, Keldon, Sohan. One of the 3 will be gone. So if they're going to keep Sohan, that's great. Get rid of Devin. You're going to keep Sohan? That's great. Get rid of Keldon.
Look at
you kind of have to.
Sean says, funny hearing Mike to tell Joe to watch what he says. I don't think that Sohan is going to be worth going after, matching salary if he gets an offer from another team at 20 mil. I mean, there's other players out there that can kind of do what he does, that can be had for less.
Right. And the Spurs might actually draft his replacement when it's all said and done this year. If the Spurs move up in the draft, somehow one of the 30% chance of moving in the top 4, what if they decided they want to get a big man at that point?
Yeah.
Right.
Somebody who can shoot.
Somebody who can shoot. But if he can actually go out there, shoot reliably. So let's give a number there, Joe. 35% from 3. If he can shoot 35% from 3 reliably while contested, I'd be like, okay, well, and he's keeping up the defensive side of the ball, well, then I'd be okay with it. But Joe, one of the things that we don't talk about so much about Jeremy Sohan is the dude unreliable when it comes to his health, because it's 82 game seasons, right? Here's how many games he played his rookie year: 56.
Okay.
He missed 26 games. Now, they weren't all because of injury. Some of it was because of load management or whatever the case may be. Second season, 74 games played. So that was good. He was healthy. Last season, 54. So he's had 2 seasons where he has missed 26 or more games in his 3 seasons with the Spurs. Now, did his shooting get better? Yes. And the reason why it got better, because he was either shooting threes or everything inside 2 feet.
Yeah.
He wasn't shooting 8-foot jumpers, 12-foot jumpers. Like, mid-range does not exist. He's not allowed to shoot a mid-range jumper ever again, right?
Yeah.
They're all underneath the basket or all 3-point shots. His 3-point shooting did increase last year, right? So his rookie year, what was it at? 24.6%. What was it last season? 30.8. He was also 30.8% the year before. So for his career, a 29% 3-point shooter, that's not good. That's not good. But the herky-jerky seems to be going away. It seems to be more fluid. But to be honest with you, Joe, Sohan might develop into be a very good player. The problem is it's probably not going to be for another 3 or 4 years.
Is he going to be a player you're going to be able to trust as far as a role player goes in the fourth quarter? What if they go ahead and do a hack of Sohan?
Yeah, well, free throw shooting wise, he's okay. I mean,
he usually misses one of the 2.
I mean, he's okay. He's career 72.5%. So I mean, that's basically what David Robinson shot as a free throw shooter back in the day.
And he's not reliable. My thing is, I don't think
it's a pop-up shot still.
Yeah, it's not a reliable shot.
But I think we need to come to terms with what is the best case scenario of what he is. That's the whole thing about Naz Reid. You know, I look at Naz Reid, I go, like, why go after Naz Reid? Naz Reid is who we all hope Jeremy Sohan will eventually become, right? So somebody who can knock down threes and play defense. Sohan's ceiling is probably Naz Reid. It's not Kawhi Leonard.
Oh, no, dude.
It's not.
No.
But that was, dude, I heard that all the time. And then you have all these Spurs fans go, well, no one really thought that. No, that's all I heard.
He has blue hair, Mike.
He's got blue hair?
He changes it to green sometimes.
He says F Houston. Jeremy Sohan, again, going to be a restricted free agent at the end of the season. Here are the players, Joe, that the Spurs have that are gone, as in they don't have any more contract with the Spurs after the season. So De'Aaron Fox is going to be extended, right?
Yeah.
On expiring deals, they include Harrison Barnes.
You got to keep him.
But at $19 million?
Either keep him or Sohan. I take Barnes.
Barnes, 32 years old right now. You know, he's 11 years older than Sohan.
Toyota Corolla, bro.
Okay, so we have him at the end of next season.
Yeah.
Being, you know, so maybe we can get something for him, right? Jeremy Sohan.
Gone.
Malachi Branham.
Gone.
Julian Champagny.
Gone.
Blake Wesley.
Gone.
Charles Bassey.
Gone.
All on expiring deals next year. Which means this is all lining itself up for what this all is telling me is I don't see them signing Blake Wesley to an extension.
Yeah, you're reading the tea leaves.
Dude, I'm okay. The Brian Windhorst, you know?
Yeah.
What I think is going to happen to the Spurs is I think they're going to contract themselves down to like 4 big contracts and then be like rookies and minimums thereafter.
Yeah, they could go get veterans, you know, pay them the veteran minimum, role player that can actually shoot the ball.
Right.
I mean, you're not getting into that second apron. You're still being keep yourself under the cap and all that. I mean, hey, Spurs right now are in great shape, by the way, moving forward to go out in free agency and acquire some role players if they wanted to.
Sam Salinas is paying $5 for a chancla.
Oh, we have another super chat we need to get to first. That's by Tex.
Oh, okay. So a Tex-Mex Frank says, I need a grito for this week. Has been busy. Cowboys all in. Spurs getting ready to draft, and Mike allegedly visited the South Side. Nice hat, Joe.
Of course.
Let's go ahead and give him that grito that he paid for.
Presumir a mis amigos les conté que en el amor.
Tex-Mex Frank paying the $5 there for the grito. Said that I allegedly visited the South Side. This was my post yesterday on Twitter. I asked the question, wait, when did South Park Mall become nicer than Ingram Park Mall? Dude, I hadn't been to South Side or South Park Mall rather since like before COVID. Right?
Yeah.
I had a client meeting at the food court there before COVID. I don't have client meetings at food courts, but this guy was like elderly and he wanted to meet there. I was like, I usually go to restaurants or go to my office or whatever. He goes, I just meet me at the food court at South Park Mall. So I went over there and I was like, they're thinking to myself, man, this mall is crap. I mean, this is like Westlakes Part 2 back in the day when Westlakes was a thing, right?
Yeah.
And then so Chica last night, we're driving around. She goes, I need to find an Ulta. She wanted to find get some makeup, right?
Yeah.
So I looked up. I was like, where's the nearest Ulta?
It's right here on Alamo Ranch.
Well, we were on the west side at the time.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, well, there's an Ulta at South Park Mall. So I was like, well, let's go to South Park Mall. We go in there, dude.
It's nice.
It's nice. I mean, it's Marbach nice. No, it's actually nice.
I know the guy. I used to know the man who was the architect that designed South Park Mall.
Really?
I was going to school at the time. I think I was like in middle school or high school. Going to middle school to high school, right? Like 8th grade. And my friend Cindy, her dad was the architect that designed South Park Mall.
So what I found interesting about South Park Mall, they have some pretty decent stores there. It's not a good mall, but it's at least respectable. It's a respectable mall, right?
Yeah.
The chica was kind of like didn't want me to bug her while she was shopping for makeup, because if I'm in Ulta or Sephora for longer than 5 minutes, I glaze over. And she's like, Michael, take this $20 and go get a massage on the chair. Have you ever done that, Joe? Gotten the massage on the chair at the mall?
Yeah.
Dude.
It's not bad. You pay a couple bucks and you just sit on the chair.
No. An actual person rubbing you.
No, dude. No.
Okay, do you ever get massages?
I do, but that's creepy, dude. To just go somewhere like in the mall.
Well, no, because the one at South Park Mall, they actually have a massage studio in there. So it's not like they have it in the middle of the mall,
it's
like
not
in
like
public.
an Asian massage parlor, nothing like
Dude.
nothing shady.
I went to use the restroom. I saw those rooms in the back, and I was like, there cannot be some cochino-ness going on at South Park Mall.
You got to pay a little bit extra for the cochino.
No, but what's so funny is that Chica and I were in Jamaica the other day, a couple weeks ago. And she goes, Michael, do you know what'd be nice? Let's get a couples massage.
Hey, that's what I'm saying, dude.
Okay, so we get a couples massage, so the lights are dark. We get down to our chones, and we're getting rubbed down, right? And I'm looking at it, and I'm thinking to myself, I don't like this. I don't like.
Was it a guy or a girl putting hands on you?
It was a girl.
Okay.
I was like, I don't like this at all. I don't like this one bit. Why is this chick rubbing on me? I don't like this.
Well, it'd be funny if they're rubbing on you. You get so relaxed, you just go.
So I told her, I said, I don't want a rub. Like, I don't want somebody rubbing my leg or rubbing my feet. Well, maybe my feet, right?
Rubbing your ass.
Rubbing my butt cheeks through a bed sheet, right? Do you know what I want?
Oh.
I want someone to rub my shoulders and like pop my back. So when I saw that,
a chiropractor, man.
So it reminded me of Claire Dunphy from Modern Family, right? Where she goes and she's getting the massage in the middle of the mall. She's giving sex sounds and all that stuff, and her dads are going, Phil, like, let's get the hell out of here. Well, anyway, so we're at the Sephora, or at the
Ulta.
the Ulta. She sees them. She goes, "You've always said that you like getting your shoulders rubbed. Go get your shoulders rubbed." Dude, they beat the living crap out of me at South Park Mall. They were putting their elbows in and just jamming it in, getting knots out. It felt awful. It was the worst feeling I had in my entire life. They popped my back. They contorted me kind of like chiropractic, and they were just digging their hands and digging their elbows, and they literally were punching me in the back. I was angry, right? Then I got up and I felt amazing. It in the process, it felt awful.
They took the coraje out on you. They were angry at you.
So it's 10 minutes, $15, or 20 minutes for $25. So not only was there a sighting of me on the south side, Joe, if you want to show my screen here, took Chica and my parents. Chica's first experience at Tacos Martinez on the west side, on West Commerce.
That's like
Dude, look at the girls in the back serving the tacos. Not one glove on their hands. They're just picking up tortillas, picking up cheese with just their hands, plain hands. So she was freaking out at how unsanitary this place was.
I mean, that's tananto, dude. That's puro.
But it was delicious. Look at those tortillas.
It's all good, bro.
She had menudo and picadillo. Like a picadillo taco.
They're piggies.
So very nice.
Hey, we
I
need to
can
go
try.
ahead and show this other super chat that we got here.
Yeah, we
Sam
got-
Salinas. Thanks again, Tex-Mex Frank. Thanks again, Sam Salinas. We greatly appreciate you guys' support. And Sam Salinas says, ridiculous. Sohan has reached his ceiling like most of this team. There is no more development. Stop with the Sohan excuses and chances. Chancla.
Okay. Oh, we're getting the chancla again.
In the chancla. So they have to go ahead and pay. They paid $5 to get in the chancla.
Chancla thrown at me again. Here's the thing about it, Joe. I've been very critical of Jeremy Sohan from the get-go because he was drafted number 9 overall at a Baylor. And whenever they say a player's raw, that just basically means that they have no skill. Yeah, they're just athletic, right? Defensively, he's above average. If we're giving him a letter grade as a defensive player, B+, which is better than most Spurs, right? B as in boy. There's very little range to his game offensively other than attacking the basket, backdoor, getting putbacks and things like that. They finally realized, Mitch Johnson finally realized, hey, this guy from 5 to 18 feet can't shoot. Just get the tip ins, drive to the basket on a 3-on-1 fast break. Do that.
Yeah.
And he played within himself last year. And for that, I'm grateful and thankful. He played to his strengths. Didn't try to go beyond that. His three-point shooting still at 30%. Not good. But the form appears to be getting a little bit better. I think Jeremy Sohan's going to be at the best he'll ever be. Not now, but like 4 or 5 years from now. But are we really going to spend $100 million to find out what that's going to be? That's what it might take, Joe.
Sith Elias says that Mike was trying to get a tuggy.
Nah, dude.
That's funny, dude. They're all talking about
Daddy's got a girl. I'm good.
Look at that. What massage place did you go to, Mike?
South Park Mall across from the Ulta. It's right next to the ice cream stand they got over there. By the way, the ice cream stand over there was complete Mexican out, man. It was hot Cheetos, it was Takis, and it was the what's it called? They had a raspa with ice cream on top of it. That was pretty cool.
Tony Hernandez says Mike felt violated.
Dude, I didn't feel violated. I felt manhandled. It was kind of like being treated like pizza dough, dude. Just rubbing it through, dude. Just pounding on the table type of thing. They beat the crap out of me. Literally, this was the last 10 things that they did to me.
And look at that. Midtown Texas. Thanks for the $5 super chat. We appreciate it, man. He says Mike crying on the massage chair. Chancla. They love hitting you with that damn chancla, bro. Got to play it again.
Appreciate the support, dude. Thank you so much, man. But what was funny was that at that place, before I got to the massage chair, they also do foot rubs. When this guy sits down and goes, I like a 30-minute foot rub. Now, I understand getting your back and shoulder done because it's kind of like, well, at least you're doing your back and shoulder. I don't think I could ever sit down at a mall, at a massage therapy place at a mall, and go, here's $40, rub my feet for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
That's cochino.
Even just like touching people's feet is cochino, dude.
Dude, I love the pedicure though, man.
Nah, man, they got that yellow nail, bro.
No, my feet are,
We like making fun of you, dude. We say, man, that nail's about to fall off.
my feet are clean, Joe. When was the last time you had a pedicure?
No, I don't go and get pedicures, man.
Let's show some love to MCS General Contracting
Sure.
for their support, that Diamond Heart Concrete.
MCS General Contracting, more than 30 years of combined experience in concrete placement. They are the best in the business, honest pricing, high quality work. They get going on house foundations, driveways, concrete patio decks. If you want to extend the deck, extend the driveway. If you're a business and you need to put together a slab, a parking lot, or other concrete placement services or sidewalks, reach out to MCS General Contracting at 210-774-9155. They're confident in their skills, so give Chris Leha over at MCS General Contracting a call at 210-774-9155. And thank you for being a sponsor of this show. Yeah, so shout out to MCS General Contracting for all your contracting needs when it comes to concrete, home of the Diamond Hard Concrete. Make sure you give our boy Chris Leha a call. Number is 210-774-9155. And remember, they can go ahead and help you with a landing. If you need to go ahead and have a landing on the side of your home, go ahead and have that water beat off and not ruin your foundation. You need a pickleball court, a swimming pool, or even let's say you need a parking lot. Your business, you need a parking lot, you need sidewalks, an ADA compliant ramp. Go ahead and call MCS General Contracting. The number is 210-774-9155. Mike's gonna come back here shortly. He's a little bit busy right now on a call for work, so we'll go ahead and just go on without him. Mike's bag smells like Southsider patas. Oh, look at that. Oh, hell no. Ain't nobody touching my bro. That's what I'm saying, Sam Salinas. That's kind of gross, man. I don't know how I feel about people touching your feet, man. I'm very particular about that, dude. I'm just not gonna go sit down somewhere and let somebody touch my feet. Someone kicked Sith Lord Elias for divulging that information. Mike got the Whataburger poops.
Sorry about that. That was my attorney on the line. So
Emergency bathroom panic. Mexican Junior.
no. I pay that guy by hourly, by phone call, and by meeting. So every time he calls, it's costing me money. So I better answer the phone when he calls. So I apologize for that.
Oh, look at that. He says, Matt Gama says, when are we going to get the Necios for a SAFC game so I can plan a big tailgate? That's
okay, so
question,
let's see. SAFC's that's security service. SAFC schedule. They've got a game against Oakland tomorrow on the road. The next time that they're home in San Antonio is May 17th, which is next Saturday. The game after that, that's going to be in San Antonio, is going to be June 14th. Joe, let's do something on June 14th.
June 14th. I'm off on the 19th. The Juneteenth.
Juneteenth?
Yeah, so we could do something on the 14th.
They also have a game on June 21st, so either weekend. So if you have it off on the 19th,
yeah,
maybe we do something on the 21st, and we'll make it an event out there.
Yeah, it'd be fun, dude. We could do that.
Well, let's see.
plan that.
Let's see here. Also, the NBA draft is June 25th and 26th. Joe, maybe that's a whole weekend that we have for the Necios.
I don't know. I know that for the NBA draft lottery, I'm not gonna be able to make it. I'm gonna be busy working.
Well, not the lottery, but the actual
draft.
The actual draft itself.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to make it. I'm gonna be busy working. I'm locked in at work, bro. It's been crazy.
I might have to take the wheels on that one.
Yeah, you might have to, man. I can probably join you all for a little bit after I get out of work.
Right.
Yeah, but they won't let us leave because it's hard for me to leave the job early a lot of times, especially right now, because they have to have somebody that has a high enough clearance to be able to do what I do, and there's only one other person on my team
Yeah.
It's just us two.
That makes sense, man. You got to do what you got to do. Sam's Liz asking the question, 2-day NBA draft question mark. That's correct. This year, first round is going to take place on the 25th of June at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. Second round will be taking place on the 26th. The lottery, Joe, is May 12th. So what is May 12th? Today's Friday, so that's Monday, right?
Yeah, it's Tuesday.
Is it?
Yeah, it's Tuesday. Oh no, Monday's the 12th. Monday is the 12th, the day after Mother's Day. So May the 12th is on a Monday.
Very nice, very nice.
Is SAFC too ethnic for Mike?
Dude, I've been to an SAFC event, dude. I went with Jason Garcia.
Look at that. Laugh my ass off. Mike is reading it wrong. I love it, Sam.
What's that?
I don't know. Maybe the days. Sam, it's on a Monday. Oh, look at, you saw that? Pledger had put this out. I saw that from Minix, Pledger, and all them over at the ESPN Sports Star.
Mm-hmm.
They put that the Rue Pub is running it back again. So they're going to have the NBA draft. And if the Spurs, or the NBA draft lottery, and if the Spurs get the number 1 overall pick, again, everybody's bar tabs are covered.
You know, I talked to the owners about that a while back, and the way that works is they buy an insurance policy for it. They anticipate a certain dollar amount of tab.
Yeah.
And then the insurance company does a formula to determine what the percentages are of them having to pay. So the Rue Pub didn't actually pay for your tab. Whatever insurance company that they had
did it.
It's no different than whenever you go to a golf tournament, like a charity golf event or whatever, and they say if you make a hole in one, you get a brand new, I don't know,
vehicle, whatever,
pickup truck or whatever the case may be.
Oh, it's a Buick. They had a Buick one time. Yeah.
It's what ends up happening is that these companies will say, okay, how much does it cost for the insurance premium? $800. Great. We'll pay the $800. Will look big time. But don't be wrong. When they pay that, it's not like they paid nothing for it.
Yeah.
They paid thousands and thousands of dollars for it, for that insurance event. But they weren't out tens of thousands of dollars like that was actually spent out because the insurance company covered the tab.
Little known fact, though, if you ever win a vehicle or you ever win one of these prizes, you always got to pay the taxes, man.
Right.
Tax, title, license. And the other thing is, they don't always tell you in the fine print, but when they give away these vehicles, sometimes they're nothing more than leases.
That's true.
So you got it for what, 3 years? Then you got to pay that balloon payment to keep it.
Well, that's why the people who win the cars on The Price is Right and stuff like that get all pissed off, man.
I want a car. Wait, nothing's free, bro.
Uh-huh.
And you know what? I bet you they have a finance company right there waiting to be like, you know what? We'll finance that tax and title and license, but it's gonna cost you so much.
That's very cool, man. Very cool. While we were talking about the Rue Pub, that's a fantastic place to watch sports, dude.
Look at that. Matt Gommons is saying they're gonna be home on the 10th of March. May. The 28th of May, the 31st, and the 7th of June.
Very cool, man. We'll go to one of those games. We'll make it happen, Joe. We'll make it happen. If you show my screen, Joe, my dad yesterday at Tacos Martinez, and also we went to the bakery next door, rocking the 2007 Western Conference Finals shirt, Joe. My dad has kept these shirts in rotation for 20 years, man. That's amazing.
Good for him, man. He's still wearing the OG shirts. Those are the ones that you used to get way back when. They have them at Academy and all that, you know?
Old school picture of me and my dad at the Spurs game. So very cool, man. Very cool. Looking forward to spending time with my
Is that what is going to happen to you, Mike? Maybe when you get older? Because I know hair loss runs in my family.
Yeah.
Will you be one of those guys that winds up getting pelon as you get older?
No, because usually when people go bald, they start going bald at 40. I'm 48, dude. It's all here.
Yeah, because hair loss runs in my family, right? So my grandpa and some of my uncles and stuff, they're bald already, right?
Mm-hmm.
They get, bald on the top, but they still got a little bit of hair on the side.
Yeah.
And that hasn't happened to me yet, man. So I'm like, I think I might be okay.
It skips a generation. So this is where I was sitting at the Rue Pub that night when the Spurs won the Wemby lottery, right? I was sitting right here with Rob Thompson and Jason Minix and Joe Ryan Eagle and Pledger and a handful of friends.
When they got the number one.
Oh, let's relive the memories. Okay, so this is an iconic moment in Spurs history, right? This image right here, because on ESPN and Good Morning America and FS1 and all that stuff, they were showing this particular scene. Jason Minix, a sports star, said something the next day that I thought was kind of funny. He says there were maybe 500 people there, but 50,000 people claimed that they were there. That they were there. But no, Joe. No, Joe. Hey, guess what I did over the weekend, Joe?
What'd you do?
Or maybe not over the weekend, earlier in the week. Saw that Post Malone Jelly Roll concert over at the Alamo Dome.
You pay the $60 for parking?
Nah, dude, but I paid $100 to Uber back. My sister dropped me off.
Oh yeah,
It was $100 surge price, and it got, I should just park there, to be honest with you.
park and ride, dude. Do the park and ride.
No, dude, gonna hang out with the peasants.
Come on.
I did that for you.
I told you.
I did that for
remember,
you.
Remember the other
I did
day
that for you.
when we were over there, right? We're with Chica, right?
Yeah.
And I told you, don't be afraid, Mike. Say it with your chest out.
I
You just
know.
started laughing.
That's why I did it. That's why I did it. Jelly Roll was amazing, dude. Post Malone was fine. He was good.
Yeah.
Posty though, man, he's skinny, dude. I remember Posty was kind of a little fluffy for a
chunky.
while there.
Yeah.
Post Malone looks like he's coming out of military boot camp.
No, he lost weight because he had a daughter, right?
Yeah.
Him and his girlfriend at the time, they were expecting, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he changed his lifestyle a little bit. I think he's tried to not smoke as much. He's lost weight, got in better shape. He wanted to be around, as he had said, in an interview, for his daughter.
Yeah.
So he wanted to get in better shape for her.
What I liked about Jelly Roll, which by the way, his music's amazing.
He lost weight too.
He's lost over 100 pounds. He was so humble out there. Like the entire time he's going, man, I'm living a dream. I'm doing a stadium tour. I cannot believe this.
Yeah.
This, if you had told me this 5 years ago, I never would have believed you. And I'm having fun out here and all this stuff. And he was like a redemption story where he was talking about how he turned to religion and he cleaned up his life, and his wife had also cleaned up her life because I believe she might have been an exotic dancer at some point.
Yeah.
And how they cleaned each other, like they were both broken, but they found each other and they decided to work on themselves. And he was looking around and he was, big old dude doing heart symbols to everybody, like literally doing this after every show, every song.
Yeah.
And he was singing. They had these big screens on the side. We had pretty good seats, but we weren't like way up in the front. We were kind of midway. You would look at his face. You can tell a lot about somebody by their eyes. I firmly believe that. And he looked so happy to be on stage. Like he was having a good time. He seemed so happy. He was so humble to say, this is not my tour. This is Posty's tour.
Yeah.
I'm just the opening act. Even though the t-shirts had both photos on there, he goes, make no mistake, this isn't my tour. That's his tour. And for somebody who's as big as he is, literally and figuratively, to come out and say this is Post Malone's tour, which was really, really good. At some point, Jelly Roll goes, I cannot wait for this show to end so I can go down the Riverwalk. Hope to see you guys out there. So I got to see if there's any photos of Jelly Roll at the
Post Malone. They had a picture of him. He was at a local eatery here, and he was just supporting local business as well.
Right.
And not only is Jelly Roll like one of these guys that's very humble, so is Post Malone, right?
Right.
Like they actually take time, and you've seen video where they have them interacting with the fan that they just pass by and they're like, hey, can I take a picture with you? And he'll stop, take a picture, talk with them. It's not just, hey, let's take the picture, all right, later.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he takes time with the fan base to interact, and that goes a long way, I think, with them, because now they feel like they have a connection,
right?
Yeah.
This was a photo of Post Malone. He was wearing a Willie Nelson t-shirt at that concert there. He needed a Texican hat though. That would have completed it all. Tex-Mex Frank, we should have thrown a Texican cap at him. Jelly Roll wore a Spurs cap for the first couple of songs, which was pretty cool. Then he threw it out into the stands. That was pretty cool. Dude, Post Malone, skinny. He's skinny. Shakira's coming to town next month, Joe.
Hey man, that Shakira booty shake hit different, bro.
Dude, it doesn't get much more attractive than her, dude.
She's smoking hot, dude.
Did you see her? Speaking of smoking hot, did you see her on that one show, Hot Ones?
Oh yeah,
on Hulu.
Yeah, she looked great.
Dude, she looked great in wings. It was so funny.
Man.
But Joe, I was Jason Minix. I mention Jason Minix all the time because a good friend of mine from Sports Star. But what I like about what he does, he and his wife Joanna, they are big into concerts. They go all over the
Yeah,
country
they travel a lot.
to watch concerts, right? And I told them a long time ago, I said, man, I wish I was in that financial ability to do that. And I've gotten better over the years, right? I'm thinking about all the concerts I've seen in the last 12 months, Joe. Tell me about my roster of concerts, Joe.
Oh, what's your
last
roster?
12 months? I've seen Post Malone, Jelly Roll. I've seen Boys to Men, Babyface, Ice Cube, Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Usher?
I've seen Usher. I've seen the Foo Fighters, the Killers, and Charles Esten.
Yeah.
That is a stout lineup of performers. I've also seen, comedies, performers. I saw Whitney Cummings. I saw Jeff Curry.
Yeah.
Dude, Chica and I have gone and done a lot. Although the Foo Fighters and the Killers were with my daughter and my nephew, Jacob. So that was pretty cool.
Hey, I was going to share this, man, and some celebrity news that we had here. Did you hear this, man? This is sad news, man. Brad Arnold, lead singer of Three Doors Down, announces he has stage 4 kidney cancer, and the band will be forced to cancel the summer tour while he battles it, man. I mean, brother's not looking good, man. Pour some out for him.
Got some not so good news for you today. And so I'd been sick a couple of weeks ago, and then went to the hospital and got checked out, and had actually got the diagnosis that I had a clear cell renal carcinoma that had metastasized into my lung, and that's it's stage 4, and that's not real good. But you know what? We serve a mighty God, and He can overcome anything. So I have no fear. I really sincerely am not scared of it at all. But it is gonna force us to cancel our tour this summer, and we're sorry for that. And I'd love for you to lift me up in prayer every chance you get. And I think it's time for me to maybe go listen to Not My Time a little bit, right? Thank you guys so much.
Okay, so one other hit song is called Not My Time.
Not my time.
Which, by the way, the video shows, if you remember the music video of Not My Time, it shows these people who are walking around on the street, and it has the timeline by which, the countdown by which they're going to pass away.
Yeah.
This number of years, months, days, minutes, all that stuff.
Seconds.
So Three Doors Down, interesting band. It's sad to see that he's going through this, but I think he has the right mentality of it all. I'm glad that he addressed the fans. Reportedly, according to loudwire.com, Brad Arnold has been sober for 9 years.
Yeah.
So it's not like he was living the high life right now and then he got sick. He had been trying to get better, 9 years sober. This is also a band that kind of unknowingly got controversial in a way, because if you remember back in 2016, 2017, when Donald Trump became president the first time, they were having a hard time booking a band to play the inauguration.
Yeah.
Like every big name that they threw out there
saying no.
said no.
Yeah.
But Three Doors Down stepped up and was that band. And they kind of got canceled by part of society when it comes to that. That's kind of the world that we live in. But Three Doors Down is a very, very, very good band. I know that you like the song If I Can Be Like That.
I could be like that. Was Kawhi's battle cry.
Yeah. Three Doors Down. Are they cool to listen to? They were touring with Creed, by the way.
Yeah, man. They're cool to listen to, bro. I mean, the guy in his heyday, he could sing, man.
Yeah.
He was a good singer, man. They had some bangers back in the day.
The Better
man.
Life was a great album.
Yeah.
My favorite Three Doors Down song is Loser. I've always wanted to karaoke that, but I never have.
I don't think you have the chops to sing that one.
It's a low register.
Yeah,
it's
hard.
It's a low register, so I think I can do it because it's down low.
I'm a loser, baby.
Be Like That's a great song. It's Not My Time.
God.
What's that one song that they sang for the soldiers? Well, Kryptonite's their biggest hit.
Yeah.
Let Me Go is a big song. What's the Love Me When I'm Gone. That's a
Oh,
song that
yeah,
I thought
yeah.
of that was written for the troops back during the Afghanistan and Iraq wars in the early 2000s. Brad Arnold, I mean, prayers up to you when it comes to all that. Stage 4 cancer. That means that it's spread, but they've canceled their tour for the rest of the summer.
Hopefully he can come back. I mean, you can always pray for miracles, things like that, and I know that I've had family members that were affected by cancer, and it had metastasized, with tumors and whatnot, and had spread to other areas of their body, and they go through like chemo and whatnot, and it's just debilitating, to see what happens to them when they're going through that. It's hard on the family and their immediate family, like their significant others, their children, and not only that, but the family seeing them go through that as well, the extended family. So yeah, prayers are going to him and his family as they go through that trying time. Hopefully he can come back from it, and have a full recovery. But one thing that was making waves here is we finally had the white smoke come out of the smokestack.
Yeah, so we have an American who is now the
Pope, bro.
Pope,
It's
man.
like, that was a big surprise to everybody. I'm watching it live as I'm working over here at work, as I work from home, and I have the TV right above me there that y'all can see behind Mike. So I'm watching it. I think it was CNN. I had it on CNN, and they announced, we're gonna see the new Pope any second now. And they had the balcony. There were cameras on the balcony, and I had just turned it, at the right time. And sure enough, the Pope comes out, and everybody's just like in shock. They're like, "Oh my God, we got an American Pope for the first time." It's big news. It's historic.
It's big news on two fronts. You have the American aspect of it all because he's from Chicago, but he spent the last 10 years or so in Peru, and he's also a Peruvian citizen as well.
The brother speaks 5 languages, man.
He does. He had a really high post in the Vatican. I wonder if this is the same guy that was in charge of the Vatican after the Pope passed, because they were saying that with the Pope passing last month, that there was an American who was in charge of the Vatican at that time. I wonder if it's the same guy. I bet you it is the same guy. So they just said, "Hey, we're gonna run it back. We like what we got."
Yeah,
he's 69 years old, man. So he might be around for a while.
He's a young Pope.
He's a young Pope.
Yeah. So I was like, wow, man, that was pretty surprising. But then we had this also happen with our good friend here, Fernandez. He's a conclave has elected a new pope, and of course he put up Coach Pop.
Yeah, we in Pop we trust, not in Pope sometimes.
Yeah, so he was quick with it, man. But we also had, speaking of Coach Pop, there, I saw this from Jefe. He posted on his X. Make sure you go and follow Jeff on the X at Jeff G Spurs Zone. So he's also a good follow. Apparently, Coach Pop catching strays from Skip Bayless, man. Guess he had something to say here. So I'm gonna play this for you all, and you all kind of tell me what you all think of this. I can't make it full screen because I have a super wide screen.
Yeah,
and it gets all crazy. But we'll go ahead and play the video for y'all.
Show brought to you by FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Speaking of Belichick, I am as big a Spurs fan as I was during the Duncan Parker Ginobili glory days. I was just never a Pop guy.
Jeez.
To me, Pop was almost as much a product of Tim Duncan as Belichick was of Brady. And never forget this, GM R.C. Buford, who was the best in the business for many years, R.C. all-time stole 3 other players in the draft who helped make Pop. Tony Parker, 28th overall. Manu Ginobili, 57th overall, second to last pick, second round. And Kawhi Leonard, 15th overall. It's just ridiculous what RC pulled off. Okay, here's the point. Since Tim Duncan retired 2016, the Spurs have had the 3rd West record in the West, just ahead of the Kings and the Pelicans. And since Manu and Tony retired in 2018, the San Antonio Spurs have had the worst record in the entire Western Conference. The Spurs haven't won a playoff series since 2017. And now they've missed the playoffs 6 straight seasons. So from 1999 to 2018.
Well, he goes on, man, and he calls Pop a bully.
Okay, so let's break this down.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to play the whole excerpt. He goes on for 9 minutes. you
Yeah.
know?
So I mean,
These are some of the things that you have echoed.
there's no lies detected. It's just like, but here's the thing: you want to keep that inside the house, inside the family, right?
Yeah.
Because Spurs Twitter could talk trash about players and about coaches and whatnot. But we don't want to hear this from anybody else, and it's questionable as to whether or not Bayless is actually a Spurs fan or not, right? Greg Popovich has said as much, though. Popovich has said that his greatness is because he coached great players. If Popovich was coaching bad players, he would not be a Hall of Fame coach.
Yeah.
You need to be the right coach for the right players at the right time. And Pop was the right coach for Tim Duncan. Could Tim Duncan have won titles elsewhere? Yes. But could he have won 5? I don't think so. Could Pop have been a coach that have won a title elsewhere? Maybe 1 or 2 someplace else.
Given the personnel,
Pop,
personnel.
Right. Pop coaching the Lakers could have won some chips. But I don't think he could have won 5. I think it was the perfect marriage of Pop with Duncan, and then also the ability to understand that you have the veteran leadership of David Robinson and all these veterans around there that made it so that when Tony joined the team and when Manu joined the team, that they just had to fall in line. It was the perfect coach. And whenever I say that Pop was too old to coach or Pop was not as good of a coach anymore, it's because, as I mentioned, it needs to be the perfect coach for the perfect player. It has to be a good marriage between the two. I never saw Pop and Wemby melding together. I never saw that.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. So for Skip Bayless to go off and say that Pop is a product of every coach, well, you can say that about every coach. I mean, Bill Belichick is a product of Tom Brady. You're right. But would Tom Brady have won so many championships without Belichick? Yeah, he would have won some. But he wasn't going to win all the 7 that he got.
It was a perfect marriage with Brady and Belichick. They understood one another.
Right.
They knew what they were, right? He knew what Tom Brady was. He's a quarterback that's going to flourish in the pocket, you know?
Right.
So they designed schemes and plays for him for that style. And it benefited him. It benefited them both.
Right.
Same thing that happened with Coach Pop and the plethora of talent that he had in Tony, Timmy, Manu, David Robinson, and the supporting cast members. They all played a contributing factor in him winning these chips with San Antonio. But they also needed the greatness of one Coach Popovich. It was just that perfect marriage, you know?
Speaking of unperfect marriages or unperfect relationships, the Diddy trial is going on. They have the jury selection already, and a couple of witnesses will be called today in the trial. This is expected to last 6 to 8 weeks. And some of the witnesses out there who claim to be victims are going to go by pseudonyms, so by fake names.
Well, you do want to protect them.
But the one that's not, Cassie Ventura, who was his longtime girlfriend, who was the one that we saw get beaten in that video that was obtained by CNN.
He was kicking her while she was down.
Yeah, at the elevator. He was in a towel and all that stuff.
That was brutal, man.
Cassie Ventura is going out there saying, yeah, no, I will say who I am. I will take the stand and say who I am. Cassie Ventura, who had a hit song about 20 years ago. People don't realize that she was actually a singer for a good while there. She's going to be the lead witness in the government's federal trial against him in New York City. The trial started a couple of days ago, but opening statements begin on May 12th. She sang that song "Me and You," which was a cute song, good song.
Look at
she's pregnant, by the way.
Yeah,
so she's got a mother. She will be a mother of 3. She's going to testify while being second or third trimester.
She's probably thinking about those kids and like, you know what? When they get older, they're going to be like, you know what?
What did you do?
My mom went ahead and stood up, even though this thing's happened to her. She stood up to the man that did this to her, you know? So they're going to be proud of her. The other thing is, look at Hanover Fist. He was saying that he goes, bro, the list is crazy of people that are going to be testifying. And not only that, but also the celebrities that have been implicated in these Diddy parties, like their names are going to be dropped. You know, they're going to say, "Hey, this is what went on."
I haven't seen that list of people who are testifying.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty crazy, dude. There's gonna be a lot of things going on.
So let's see here. Everyone that's been mentioned in the trial so far, according to Us Weekly: Kanye West, Michael B. Jordan. Got some pretty big names there. Danity Kane member Don Richards, actor and comedian Mike Myers. What was he doing? Mike Myers was Cochino.
They were there with the diddler.
Harv Pierre, who was a record executive at Bad Boy Entertainment. Dallas Austin, the producer. Don Richards, who was in Danity Kane. Michelle Williams, wasn't she on Destiny's Child?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's another name that's going to be out there. That's interesting. There's a lot of big names there.
A lot of big names,
and they'll probably say other people as well. We mentioned Cassie, Kid Cudi, Kanye West,
Kid Cudi.
Cudi. There you go. I don't know. I've been calling his name wrong the entire time.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be there's some names out there, man, and that's the thing. It's like, what's gonna happen to them after this? You know?
Yeah.
And one other thing that broke in celebrity news, and we're talking about it, is this this excerpt that I saw was something I reposted here on the X. Yahoo Sports saying that Bill Belichick's girlfriend, Jordan Hudson, is reportedly banned from UNC's football facility. So it says, one Belichick family source adds, there's a deep worry for how detrimental Jordan can be for not just North Carolina, but Bill's legacy and reputation, because she is very controlling and very toxic. Like, you saw
she
that
forced her way into the Super Bowl commercial, apparently.
And you saw the way she was acting when they were interviewing Bill.
Right.
And she's like, we're not talking about this. We're not doing that. And I guess that whole interview was a debacle. They're going to put it out there, but it was hard to get the content because she was so controlling of everything. His responses, it's like she should have been removed from the room.
Mm-hmm. She's competing in the Miss Maine USA pageant this weekend. Belichick age difference between the two is pretty steep. Hudson's 24. Belichick is 72. So he's 3 times her age, Joe. 3 times her age. What do they say, Joe, about the crazy hot matrix? The hotter they are, the more crazy you're willing to put up with.
Yeah.
He's 72, dude. I mean, I know he's 72, makes $10 million a year, and he's the legendary guy. But I promise you this much, Joe. Unless he's buying it, he ain't gonna get a girl like that anymore.
Nah.
He ain't.
He gonna put up with her crazy ass.
He's gonna, he's probably thinking to himself, man, getting some 24-year-old booty.
But that at the end of the
he's
day,
cochino, by the way. He's complete cochino for this. And everybody in New England, because Robert Kraft with the massages and stuff like that, all the happy endings and all that stuff.
Man, but in Robert Kraft's defense, his wife had passed, right? Been a while for the brother. He went to go get a massage, man.
Sam Salinas asking himself, well, why has no one contacted Adult Protective Services to investigate this gold digger?
And that's the thing that I was getting at. The thing with Bill is that Bill has a lot of connections, right? A lot of opportunities. And she understands that because she's not dumb. She's a very intelligent woman.
Right.
She sees an opportunity with Bill, and she's going to take full advantage of it.
She's seeing headlines.
Well, she sees opportunities for herself, right? So what's going to end up happening, I think, the way this whole thing's going to play out is she's going to wind up getting to a position of power of some sort.
Right.
And at that point, she might cut ties with old Bill because she already got what she wanted out of him.
Mm-hmm. Hey, did you see those 2 employees of Frontier Airlines, which, by the way, I flew the other day. Don't ever fly Frontier. Spirit, as much crap as we give Spirit, they're still decent.
They're like, hey, our pilots just quit. We need somebody to fly the plane.
Frontier sucks ass, okay? So here's the thing. This went viral because somebody was trying to get on a flight from North Carolina to Boston, and apparently was told that they had to pay an extra $25 because they were being because they had to check in baggage and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Because if you check them in person, here's the thing about it all: you have to pay more if you buy your if you have to pay you have to pay more if you check your bags in on site.
Yeah.
But if you buy the luggage, the luggage passes, if you will, online, it's cheaper, right? And apparently there's a disagreement about that, right? And normally we see incidents where one side's recording the other.
Yeah.
Well, now they were recording each other, and this has gone viral.
You did. They made that flight. You did. And you think you're gonna check me in? I bet you we won't. Hey?
I paid for a ticket.
And you
Yeah,
didn't
I
pay
paid for a
$25 for
ticket.
agent assist fee, and you checked in 3 hours later. Hello.
I just
And you
said that
thought
I
you was gonna get on your flight.
yeah, I
And you
just
thought
said
you
that
was gonna
I
get on your
would
flight.
pay the
And you thought you was gonna
$25.
get on your flight. And you thought you was gonna get on your flight. And you thought you was gonna get on your flight. And you thought you was gonna get on your flight.
I literally paid for a ticket. I'm here 30 minutes. I'm here 30 minutes before my flight, and they're not letting me check in.
And you're not getting on your flight.
Because it's a policy. We don't control that.
And you will never fly
You were
on
about to
Frontier
let me
unless-
check in. You were about to let me check in,
Oh,
and you
make-
decided that you ain't gonna
make
let me check in.
you Make me check you in. Make
You
me check
literally
in.
work for a
Make me
company that
check
I
you in.
bought a
Make
plane
me check
ticket
you in.
for. I'm here 30 minutes before the
Can you
flight.
please leave, sir?
No,
Can you please leave my personal space?
I'm not in your personal space.
You're in
This
my
is
face.
not
I
your
work
personal
here. This
space.
is my stationery.
This is not
I'm at
your
Frontier.
personal space. You work for a company.
And
This
you
is
get loud
not
for
your
work.
personal space.
We ain't got to worry about it. We ain't got to worry about it.
You don't have to worry about
Well-
it. You're literally not doing your job.
Well, guess what?
Top flight security, Craig.
Security, security. Well,
That's what it
both
reminds me
both
of,
those
man.
chicks got booted from their jobs. They no longer work for Frontier.
That was Day with the whistle, man. Top flight security, Craig.
So Jason Garcia says hard plastic seats will keep me away from Spirit. Okay, I'm not saying Spirit's good. Okay, because if you want a good airline, Delta is where you fly. JetBlue is where you fly. American Airlines, hey man, at least they let you watch TV, right?
Yeah.
On longer flights, you can watch TV, you can watch TNT basketball and all that stuff like I did the other day. That's great, right? The low level ones, United. Golly, man. United is the most boring airline of all time. I don't even think they exist. Who the hell flies United, right?
I don't mind American or United.
Americans, fine. Americans as low as I'm gonna get. Southwest Airlines used to be the thing, dude, but it's gotten to be like they treat you like cattle.
Isn't American the one that have the like really nice planes inside?
Oh, that's Delta.
Oh, that's what I fly. I love Delta, bro. When you get inside that, it's like plush luxury.
Right.
The seats are comfy. You have a lot of leg room. You have the flat screen behind
Yeah.
every seat.
They do, man.
It's nice, bro.
It's like flying in a caddy,
Bro,
dude.
you go from that from going to Southwest
Yeah.
to Delta, you're like,
What
happened?
why am I at Market Square all over again? You know, Frontier's the Market Square of airlines, right?
God.
Okay, so here's the thing about it all. Spirit, I flew a few months ago first class on Spirit, Joe.
Jeez.
First class on Spirit was a trip,
You
man.
get those big seats to sit in.
Okay,
They're comfy.
it's a crappy 35-year-old plane, right?
Yeah.
And everyone in there is ghetto because I've flown ghetto because sometimes I'm ghetto myself.
Yeah.
You get on these planes, and it's like, okay, I am top dog of a crappy flight, right?
Because you have the nice chair.
Over the first rows. It's not even nice. It's just big, right?
It's wide. It's
you know,
wide.
it's roomy. And what they do is they give you
Snacks.
they give you snacks because everyone else has to pay for snacks, and you get all you can drink while you're up there, dude. So I'm like drinking like Crown and Jameson and
Here's
all
your
that
Grey
stuff.
Poupon.
Do you know what sucked ass the other day? Flying back from Miami, we took American over, we took Frontier over, we took Spirit back.
Yeah.
We're sitting in not first class, but the
Coach.
no, we're the extended the big seat coach.
Okay.
So the first two rows are first class.
Yeah, the nice seats.
We're row 3,
All right.
right? So we got a nice seat, right?
Yeah.
I saw them with a Kind bar, and I'm thinking to myself, that's probably going to cost me like $8, but I'm hungry. I want a Kind bar. I went up and I said, yeah. They're like, would you like to buy anything from our menu? And I said, yeah, I'd like to have a kind bar. Didn't look at the menu. Kind bar, here's my card. Sorry, sir, that's just for first class. Like there's 8 first class seats. So the kind bars are only for these 8. These 4 fuckers over here, these 4 fuckers over there are the only ones who can get kind bars. You're telling me that those 8 people are so special that they're getting kind bars. Good grief, man.
Man, I can't believe you didn't splurge a little bit, at least Southwest. That's the via of the airline, bro.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of changes coming now. They're going to charge you for any, let's say, luggage that you take on board. And that includes like your backpack or your carry-on. They're going to charge you for everything now, just like everybody else does.
Well, there's some things that I'm bougie about, man. And some things I don't care about. Someone's asking the question, handle with fists, what wrong choices did Mike make to fly Frontier Spirit? Frontier is trash. It's trash. You know the hardest one though. Remember what was that one party plane? Right? It was like what was it? It was an airline. It was God. It was worse than Spirit. It was worse than Frontier. Funjet. Oh my God, Funjet. I'm not even Catholic, and I'm doing the sign of the cross going in that thing.
Look it, man. They're making fun of you here. This is funny. It was a slow month, and the 1099 took a hit.
That's funny.
Look at, yep. Work harder, MJ. Make more money, Mike.
That's
God.
funny,
You
too.
know what else was breaking here? That was kind of a shot out of nowhere, and I think it was Tony Ornelas that had brought it to my attention in the chat. Allegations now for Smokey Robinson being reported by TMZ. He's being sued for sexual battery by 4 former housekeepers. Is Smokey
85 years old.
Is he a cochino?
So you're saying that the housekeepers didn't second that emotion?
I guess not, dude. I guess not. Look, the suit was filed in Los Angeles Tuesday morning by 4 Jane Does claiming they used to work as housekeepers for the music star and his wife, Frances Gladney Robinson. You know who's probably going to be their representation? Mr. Busby.
Mr. Busby out of Houston.
He'll be there with that freaking slick back hair.
If he gets convicted like Bill Cosby,
yeah,
would Smokey Robinson be crying the tears of a clown? I'm just going all through all the songs that I know of Smokey Robinson.
You know he's on tour right now, by the way.
Yeah. Smokey Robinson, 85 years old, Joe.
Great pre-check too. They're making fun of your airlines. It was just their imagination. Man, the guys here in the chat are quick with it, dude.
Yeah,
it's funny. Yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of celebrity news today, and you heard that also the Boardwalk Empire star, kid that came out. I think it was in Dawson's Creek and all that. Man, he's being charged too. Look, that actor Michael Pitt arrested for sexual abuse. A lot of cochinos coming out of the woodwork, man. Brother's getting up there in age already, but there's been a lot of this going on now as of late, man. It said Michael Pitt has been arrested for sexual abuse charges, with authorities accusing him of sexually assaulting his then girlfriend and later attacking her with several blunt objects.
Wow.
Ouch.
So Chica and I were driving downtown, going to the Jelly Roll concert with Post Malone. What's that bar on Southtown that has like Mexico in the name, like Mexican something or another? It's an old, I can't think of it right now, but it's kind of like on the same side of the street as the Friendly Spot, but you're going closer towards River Center Mall. Dude, it was the funniest thing, dude. It's a, like Bar Mexico. I know it's Bar America out there, but there's something Mexico or whatever the case may be. And we were joking that it's an ice trap. It's a trap for ice because it says Mexico in there.
Man, you know, that's the thing is like people don't understand now. Like ICE is going to be out there at these big events, concert events, fiesta events. And if they get a hit on you, bro, you're gone. He'd be walking the street and they'd be like, boom.
Sam with the agony and the ecstasy. Very nice, Joe. Dude, we've been all over the place. Is it Friday yet?
It's Friday.
We don't give a damn. We don't give a damn on Fridays.
We went a little over because we started a little late because we had some technical difficulties. And it was because of this system. Like there was something weird I noticed earlier today when I logged in here and I started bringing up Google Chrome and all that, that's the browser we're using. It just seemed a little off, man. And sure enough, when we started the show, the audio wasn't working for some reason, but we got it to work. So we made the best of it.
Mm-hmm.
Made the best of it.
So my essay has a front page story right now. Must be a slow news day.
God.
Long-standing San Antonio dive bar closes after almost 40 years. Says pour one out for this long-time establishment. Which bar was it? Texas Tea Pub.
Never heard of it. Never been there.
Okay. Apparently it's been open since 1986, so nearly 40 years.
You know, this is the thing, though. A lot of these local bars.
I know Texas Tea Pub by the sign. Joe, the sign right there, Joe. That's close to the Alamo.
Yeah. I remember I probably walked through there.
Oh, yeah. That's Travis Street right there.
They're probably a product of the construction and everything that's been going around there. But what I've noticed with a lot of these local places, they're starting to close up shop, just like the Mad Pecker, Busted Sandal, and all these other ones. Because nowadays, they have that new generation, right, of, I guess, drinker, right? 20-somethings. And they don't like the craft beer anymore. They don't like a nice cocktail. They like their White Claws and their fruity drinks and all that stuff. And they don't want to get quality. They want quantity, and they want it cheap.
Dude, bars are so weird these days. I was talking to Chica just 2 days ago about this when we were driving around San Antonio. I was talking about nightclubs. When we were growing up, we're in our 40s. When we grew up, nightclubs were a thing. Sunday, we're going to go over to Joe's Volcano, right? And then we're going to go to Planeta. We're going to go to, the North Pole.
Polyesters,
Atrium. We're going to go all these places, Graham Central Station. If there was a place every night of the week, we can go club.
They even had the nice place downtown. It was called the Rhino Room.
Yeah.
Like a cigar bar.
That doesn't exist anymore, dude. Young people don't give two craps about it all. And it's weird how they don't care. Like the socialization of young people these days is weird. We used to get dressed up, Joe. And Chica and I were talking about this. Like we would get up every Friday, Saturday night, 11 o'clock. We were dressed to the nines. We're gonna go out someplace.
Got your haircut and everything.
We got cologne on. We're gonna go meet a girl. We're gonna go do some. We're gonna go dance. Go do whatever. Then we're gonna go to Chacho's afterwards, or Taqueria Data Point, or Mama Margie's.
Yeah, your boy's hyping you up as you picked them up. Hey, look at you.
Yeah, go to Chelsea Street Pub, even by Ingram Park Mall. That was
pre-game.
Cool. Pre-game. They don't do that anymore, dude. Young people dress like shit.
Wearing Crocs.
Young people dress like crap.
Yeah.
We used to Cavaricci's, Gerbeau, Structure.
Nice, even like Dockers, slacks.
Just something, with a Structure polo or whatever, or Guess or whatever the case may be back in the day.
Now they go in
the braided belts. They look like a dick coming out.
Nowadays they go in to wear their Crocs. They just wear whatever they rolled out of bed with, a wrinkled ass shirt.
Yeah.
Don't even comb their hair, and just be like, pull up to a bar full of guys drinking beer.
Yeah.
Bourbon. I'll have a White Claw. Oh man.
But why is it that young people don't get dressed up anymore? I don't understand. We used to get dressed up, man.
It's ever since like COVID and all that, and the social distancing and all that. They don't have what they call the social skills.
They don't.
Remember, like from the Water Boy?
Yeah.
Bobby Bougier's mom?
Yeah.
You don't have the social skills.
What was the girl's name? Valancourt? Vicky Valancourt?
Vicky. Hey, everybody needs a Vicky, dude. She was
ride or die.
Kill everybody for
She's ride or die, dude.
Yeah.
She's ride or die. Chica has a little Vicky Valancourt in her as well.
There you go.
We watched the movie Crazy Stupid Love last night. She had never seen it before. And that was a good movie, dude.
Charlie Hernandez says, Mike, were you pop locking at the club?
You know it, dude.
Pop, lock it, drop it.
I was doing the kid and play.
Wearing sweatpants and Crocs, bro. You already know, man. Or not even sweatpants. They go out in public wearing freaking pajamas, bro.
Yeah.
And house slippers.
Dude, I remember going to Texas State when I was there.
Yeah.
No one went in pajamas to class. We all went school shopping for clothes, right?
Yeah.
Got clothes. Got to look dressed up a little bit because you might meet somebody over there.
Not anymore, bro. All tirados nowadays, dude. Look like freaking hobos out there, man.
So what we got going on this weekend?
No, man. I'm just gonna relax a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that I go and spend some time with my mama.
Yeah.
Because my mom is a twin, like I've said before. So I got to spend time with my mom and also my aunt because she helped raise me. So I'm gonna go and spend some time with them. Probably go and drop off something for all the women in my life that have children that I know. My sister-in-laws, my mother-in-law. Go and see my stepmom. I always take her something too. She's always been a great woman as well.
Mhm.
So I try to make it a point, especially on Mother's Day, to make all the women in my life feel special. Do something nice for them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. We got I got tonight. My daughter has a performance. My youngest one has
Yeah.
a performance at her school actually at Brennan High School.
Yeah.
It's a dance performance that she's doing. So I got that tonight. Gonna be driving out to Austin this evening because if you follow here, my girlfriend's son's girlfriend is graduating from UT with
Nice.
she's gonna be a CPA. She's getting her accounting degree, her master's. So we're gonna go do that. Gonna come back to San Antonio for Mother's Day, go do that, and then we'll figure out what's going to happen there. Monday's kind of in flux for me, a little FYI. So little in flux with me as to what's going on with Monday. Tuesday, I should be back in San Antonio because I have a work function over here. So I'll be doing that. And there is a possibility, Joe, that we might have a guest in the next few weeks or so of the radio personality.
Oh, it was one of my boys here.
Yeah.
Fernandez is working on something behind the scenes. I'm not going to divulge what's going on, but we might have an interview coming up soon.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That'd be cool, man.
Our supporters help us out, man. Most definitely, dude. Most
Yeah.
definitely.
And shout out to Sean. I know Sean texted us yesterday. I was busy. As soon as we were done with the show, I was really locked in with work. Sorry I didn't get with you, man. But he was saying that they had some specials over at PF Chang's.
Yeah, it was like
on Wednesday.
It was the wine and all that stuff they had
Mhm.
over there.
Bottle service, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got to do something over there because I know Sean does a lot, over there at PF Chang's, and it's a good place, a good eating establishment there. If you've never been to the one over there at the La Cantera location, go over there and say hi to our boy, Sean Quintero. He does a great job. We need to go out there and kind of have a happy hour, partake in it.
Yeah. Most definitely. Everyone have a fantastic weekend. Again, I'm going to be I've already gotten my mom her gift. Going to get Chica her gift and things like that. Sham Sharania, by the way, reporting Curry's going to miss at least a week.
Damn.
So out through game 4 at the very least. Going to miss at least 2 more games there as the series goes into back to the Bay, rather.
Look at that. Thanks, Greg. As we're ending the show, he's sending us a super chat and he's saying, Happy Mother's Day to all the mamas out there. Definitely, man. Happy Mother's Day to all the mamas out there. If you have a special lady in your life that helped raise you, you have your mama out there, make sure you go and do something nice for them.
To all the mamas, the baby mama mamas. Outcast, baby. Very nice. Everyone have a fantastic weekend. Hit the like button on the way out the door. And again, thank you so much for all the super chats. We got several of them today. Keeps the show running. We appreciate it so much. Thank you. This was a good week of viewership for us on all of our platforms. Thank you so much. We look forward to it. Back on Monday.
See you, boys. Have a good weekend.